morning, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dane Thornton. I want to thank you all for tuning in today to Lions Talk Live. And I know, hey, we got a big game coming up tomorrow. We got the Lions starting to show some positive signs of players potentially returning. All that being said, hey, it's a good time to be a Lions fan. It's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to be here in the chat. All right, if you're new to Lions Talk Live, please consider subscribing, making our final push to get to 4,800. If you can help make that happen, that sure would be great. I think we're about, 25 away. So if you could help out with that, that'd be great. Also, don't be afraid to hit that like button. All right, I see the chat is moving and shaking this morning. So, boy, it's it's really been moving for about a half hour. So I think we're going to go ahead and jump on into this thing ASAP. Bit lady, good morning, Coach. First, yes, you are. Coach, you need to talk to Hot and Now and get some jerseys made for the last game. Hot and Now advertising on the back, hooker time in the front. Let's go with a Go Lions to keep it straight up. I'll potentially see what can happen there. Bit lady, I sent this plug yesterday. I might have missed it. I'm sure one of your subscribers could design it for you. Wear it at the final game. I'll give that a go. Don't go there a whole lot, but every once in a while when I stop into Sturgis for work or whatever, I do sometimes stop in and eat it just out of nostalgia. All right, Southwest, we got good news about CJ. They need his leadership and swag. I would agree with that. He'll add an energy level definitely to the team room component that is infectious. I mean, people rally around this guy. He's got coverage skills. Think about how this defense is going to change potentially in the next few weeks. Irvin, we got a little bit of sample size against him, from the Saints. Him, Houston coming back probably in the next week or so. You start getting some guys that can get to the quarterback. You have a little bit of a rotation. Now in the secondary, Vildor, I think, he did not look bad, I'd say, against the Bears. I think with more reps, better understanding the D, probably see his time. As we all know, probably going to exclusively play in the slot now with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Iffy spending more and more time in the back half of the secondary and the safety positions, etc. So them all coming back, Aleem McNeil probably right at the playoffs. This defense starts having a little bit more personnel. Maybe Jack Campbell continues to grow. Same with Branch, and other rookie or younger players as well. This defense could be different. All right, JDC, Lions Talk Live. All meat, no potatoes. That's what I'm talking about. No carbs here. Bit lady, we'll see how much pop CD2 has because we are talking a pec injury. Yeah, I mean, they won't be putting him out there unless they feel he's ready to get back out there. So I think we can all agree upon that. He's going to need to get back into the swing of things, get his legs underneath, build up some endurance. All those things will be said. So, will he play against the Minnesota Vikings next week? I think there's some potential. If not, then definitely against the Cowboys. And like we've talked about for over a month on the channel, that was the target date given to me, and it seems to be holding up. All right, Southwest. The one thing Goff was doing well last season when he went on his 9-game stretch with no interceptions, he was stepping into the pocket. Yeah, he was stepping up, avoiding the edge rushers, avoiding pressure, give himself some extra time so he can scan the field. He was. And, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, I believe. You could see the injuries on the offensive line, how those in turn are affecting Goff. But there's other layers to it as well. Let's get that defenses have kind of figured out Ben Johnson's offense to a certain degree. Ben Johnson's going to have to get more creative. They're going to have to push the field and extend the field a little bit more with some deeper pass routes. All these things are coming into play, and we've got 4 games now before the playoffs where we really got to figure some things out here. All right, Matt, what do you got? Good morning, Lions Nation. Any word of Tyson Alua could play tomorrow? Go Lions. That's a fair question, and one I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately, Detroit, Matt. I'm sure sort of like CJ or a lot of the guys they sign, like Bruce Irvin, they need him to get to a certain level before they're going to put him out there. He's got to be getting pretty close, so I would think at least. All right, Southwest Lion, what do you got? Well, one sign of growth from both our coordinators will be better in-game adjustments. The really good ones are able to adjust on drive, but at this point, I'd be happy with better in-game adjustments. Yeah, I've talked about it a number of times on here. To me, that's just inexperience as a coach. But to your point, the longer they coach, the more experience they get, the faster they'll be able to make those in-game adjustments. All right, Michael, what do you got? Greetings and salutations, Coach and Duke crew. That goes out Saturday night and plays inspired football. I'm hoping they do. They've obviously playing with a purpose. Both teams will be. Both teams have something to win and or lose. So going out here, taking care of that business, trying to put themselves in a position where either they secure a playoff spot or potentially set up, or I guess you could say, and potentially set up the following week against the Minnesota Vikings. A win there after a win against the Broncos would give them an opportunity to secure the NFC North. All right, Southwest, how do you think the Lions rank in deflected passes from their defensive line? If you're not going to get to the quarterback, your hands up and take away his passing lanes. Yeah, and they've done that from time to time. Most notable one's probably the start of the Tampa Bay game because that saved a touchdown. But they do it some. Do I think they're elite at it? No, probably not. I wouldn't go that far with them, but they do a decent job, just not an over-the-top job with it. All right, Bit Lady, in 2 weeks' time, hopefully we got CJ Gardner-Johnson, Houston, and Aleem maybe a week later. Hold the fort until then on D. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're getting healthier. They're getting close. I know I had my report out, whatever, about things, but it was kind of also, remember, earlier in the week, Dan Campbell came out and said CJ and Houston are, basically on the same timeline. I think that's a real tell that you have Gardner-Johnson back. So how far can really Houston be off? Maybe a week. I mean, who knows? We'll find out when he gets there. But it sounds like, to your point, we're getting a lot of these guys back around the same time. Drake, good morning. Good morning to you. Anthony, morning, Duke crew. Same to you. Hopefully you're able to do one. Susan, what do you got? Morning, all. Greetings and salutations. Same to you. Kurt, Duke crew. Yes, yes, it is. We are the Duke crew. We got Southwest Lion. Gibbs and JMO have elite speed. Both will be single coverage most of the time. With all that in mind, they should be able to each get player the ball in space at least 5 times a game. Yeah, they should be able to create some matchup problems. And I know we've all been clamoring for it for a couple of weeks at least now. Let's get these two going. Let's really put some pressure on opposing defenses. So hopefully Ben Johnson is listening to the show and takes heed from some of our sage wisdom. Southwest Lion, I meant to say Gibbs and JMO will beat single coach. Yeah, I knew where you were going with that, man. Big Eddie, Irvin, CJ, Houston, Vildor, McNeil. The defense could improve a lot. Yeah, because right there you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that could be impactful upon the team. 5, I mean, that's almost half the guys on the field. So to your point, you start replacing that many guys out there and you believe them all to be better, along with maybe some increased workload for, I don't know, maybe Iffy or so as another safety who can cover out there. Yes, you start seeing where things could gravely change in a hurry for the defense. Doesn't mean they're going to be elite. Doesn't mean they're going to be top 5. They're not going to be, the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens or anything on D. But could they be a lot better than, bottom 3 in the league? Yes. All right, Bit Lady, I will say it again until the key D players are back at the end of the day, the game keys. The game keys, all right. Okay. I see another one down, but we got one in between you. Damon, all I want for Saturday's Lions win. We'll see what we can do for you. All right. Bit Lady, 1, pass protection, 2, run efficiency, 3, minimize turnovers. Yeah, if we could make number 3 a 0, pass protection 100%, run efficiency anywhere around, 70, 80%, we'd be in good shape there. Lance, pass protection for Goff would be the key Saturday. Yes, he's definitely and noticeably different when he's not getting hit repeatedly. Southwest Lion, the Lions have too much speed and talent on offense to be shut out in a half. That's a fair point. That's an excuse, Bill. With skill players they have, they should be scoring at least 27 points a game. It does, but also at times, you're not going to have your best game all the time. But they need to right the ship this week. All right, Trey Tipton, Coach, I've got to ask, how the hex did you know CJ would be back a month ago around the 20th of December? People are asking that, right? I'll just say, you work in any industry for a long time, you get to know people, especially when you have 2 industries that correlate with each other. Most of you guys know I used to work in Detroit on different TV stations, radio stations, let alone within the print media. So you do get to know people. And then you combine that with coaching and scouting, I should say. for professional athletes. I mean, you're in a lot of the same locker rooms. We'll just go with that. All right, Bruce Wayne, Trey Tiffany worked in. Yeah, yeah. All right, you guys got that. All right, Bit Lady, JMO has a good dig route too. Yes. Broken ankles type needs to run a deep ball. Isn't there? Yes. They've got to get him in more packages that play to his strengths, but also just get him on the field. We talked about crossing patterns and things of that sort in recent weeks. They've got to do some things to get him involved because, to just about everybody's point, if he catches it, he's a problem for every defense. And we need to start taking advantage of something like that. You've heard me clabber, for Houston last year and then this year. Why? Because while he does have some deficiencies, and Jamison Williams does as well, they're so elite at what they do well that they are a problem for everybody. That's not a play on words with James Houston. He's a problem. But, guys like them are incredibly rare. Get them out on the field. Drake, what do you have? Bruce Wayne coach is old. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And getting older every day. Eduardo, tomorrow we will see if this team is for real or not. Yeah, they need this one big time. I would agree with that. Coaches can talk all the way, but until I see it on the field, I won't believe them. I'll go with that. Wardo, if I see JMO get one target in the opening drive, I'll be happy. Yeah, they've got to try to make an emphasis to get him involved again because of the problems he causes. Southwest offense won't be predictable. Two back sets the entire game. Have Gibbs and JMO in motion, frequently running crossing patterns and deep routes. Throw 1 to 2 40-yard passes a quarter. I'll go with that. Donkey Kong, Super Bowl or bust. Now it's a show. Now we know everybody's awake. Thanks for that, Donkey. All right, Eduardo, Goff needs to just go to JMO and say, hey, if I see you single coverage, I'm throwing it as deep as I can. Either you get it or no one. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. Yeah, chuck it. Let him run under it. Boo, hey, good morning, new crew. Dan, do you have any insight on what, if any, adjustments have been made for the Broncos aside from everything we here are calling for? That I don't. Yeah, like even if I was an active reporter still for the Detroit Lions as far as attending practice and such, they limit you to the first 15 minutes of practice. And generally speaking, all you're going to see out there, unless somebody really screws up, is you're going to see guys stretching, maybe going through some stuff with individual personal trainers or whatever on the sidelines, things of that sort, positional coaches, I should say. That's all they're going to let you see. The days it used to be, like when I first started out, you could watch the vast majority of practice, but they started running into some problems where some reporters would help out their income by taking specific notes on plays and calls and selling those to other teams. So the NFL put the kibosh on that. And that's got to be early to mid 90s. So it's been a while since we've been allowed, or reporters have been allowed to be out there for anything more than the first 15. All right, Southwest. Eduardo, exactly. Goff needs to get the ball to JMO and Gibbs whenever either is in single coverage. I would agree with that. Yeah. Garland, greetings and salutations to all. Same to you. Eduardo, all I'm saying is Denver is 32nd against the run. Yeah, they're bad. I don't want to see them all of a sudden stop running in the third. Yeah, I agree with you. Keep the pressure on them to defend both sides of the offense, the running and the passing. Eduardo, I also don't understand DC's infamy with electing to defer when they win the toss. We play better being ahead, and we stink coming out of half. You got a fair point there. Start the game with the ball, go at them, and then the third quarter, maybe eliminate a possession from us because we have not done well, as we all know, in the third quarter. Mr. Nico, hey, man, good to see you. Good morning, coach and crew. We need to win our division. I agree. Remember, we can't un-Mountain Dew what's already been done. Man, good job there. Mountain done. Finish strong, Lions. May the dew be with everybody. Same with you, man. Hopefully you have a good day and a great weekend, man. Well played out there. Eduardo, out of 13 weeks, we have only had one drive coming out of half that resulted in points. One. That's on coaching. I would concur. That means, man, I would scrap everything you're doing because obviously it's not working. Just shake the magic 8 ball and let it tell you what to do, basically. Eduardo, the team that went into KC and Green Bay, we need that team back. Yeah, but those teams were aggressive on both sides of the ball, and we are way too conservative with our coaching staff. All right, what do we got, Angie? Can you explain why we are so unproductive in the third quarter? Yeah, you look at a lot of the schemes that we come out with. Again, they're very conservative. They're not aggressive. I mean, no, I don't think anybody on here would be yelling and screaming if the Lions came out and chucked the ball around deep or whatever in the third quarter. They tend to get out of their rhythm and sync. They run way too much on first down, playing into the defensive strengths, and they don't give the defenses any pause. And I'm just talking about our offense. They don't do anything from a schematic point that I see that catches teams off guard that first drive of the third quarter. They pretty much keep doing what they did in the second quarter. The problem is the defensive quarters have made adjustments, and now you're playing into that. So you're not forcing them to readjust. Maybe I should have just said that. All right, Gary, what do you got? Versus wideout screens, at least 2 deep throws to JMO. Let's use some creativity with this kid. Yeah, you got to get him more involved. Anthony, absolutely agree. Me too. Southwest line. Why would the Lions play? Why would the Lions play a 4-2-5 defense when linebacker is probably the greatest position of strength at this point? I would either go to a 3-3-5 or 3-4-4 line. You got some good thoughts there, man. And I would agree with you on the linebackers. So probably at this point, from a health standpoint, the healthiest unit overall out there. All right, Eduardo, if anyone here bets, I bet on the over on Cortland Sutton. He'll cook us. Oh boy, let's hope not, but you could be right there. Trump second. All right, you'll second that. All right. Jalen Reese, Maven Booth. I would agree with that. Yeah, he's played well in the last 2 weeks or so. I wouldn't see why you wouldn't get him on the field more. All right, Southwest, Angie, I think the reason for the lack of productivity in the third quarter has to rest primarily with coaching. Yeah, I would agree. I would have thought that they would have this figured out well before this point in the season, but the fact that it's dragged down for 75% of the season, that's a surprise to me, I guess. Nathan, good morning, Duke Crew. Let's get this win tomorrow night in prime time. I would agree. Yeah, get it. All right, Matthew, morning, guys. Let's go. CJ coming back. Yes, that is a huge plus for this team. Huge. Michael, howdy, Dan, Lions faithful. Good morning to you too, buddy. Hopefully you're having a great one. Eduardo, I really hope they win the next 2 weeks so I can live stress-free, having a playoff spot with 2 weeks to go. Yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? And I know there's a couple guys that are normally in the chat that are not right now, and they've talked to me on like Facebook or whatever. Last weekend's game was very difficult on them. I guess we put it that way, and they're taking a moment of pause to just try to get some of the stress out of their system. And hey, that shows you how much we all love this team and rooting them on. We take it that personal when they don't perform well, and it can hurt us. We've all been through it, I'm sure. All right, Don, greetings and salutations tomorrow. Let's get it. Good to see you, Donnie. Good to see you out there. And yeah, let's get that win tomorrow night. All right, Gary, am I the only one that feels like there are internal things going on? Like there's internal things going on? I guess, what do you mean by that? Like with some of the personnel decision makings, or let me know what you're thinking a little bit more on that, Gary, and I'll get to it. Trump, Chicago gone full, coming with gun registration. All right, economy with gun registration. I didn't know that part, but I haven't really paid attention either. I don't really watch the news hardly at all anymore. Derwin, what do you got? Morning, Dew family. Hope all is well. With this is a huge game for Goff's confidence. If he can just get this offensive line gelling going into the playoffs, mentally we can get back on track going and win Super Bowl. I'd be down with that. But I agree with you, Derwin. I think a lot of Goff's failures in recent weeks, I guess you could say a month now, comes down to the offensive line. They haven't kept him clean, and we all get it. Every quarterback plays less effectively when they're getting hit. Goff, it just kind of goes to another level. I mean, his play is incredibly different when he's getting hit regularly. All right, mile marker. Good morning. Nice that the Lions won out over Chargers and Raiders. Yeah, and man, could the Raiders have just scored a couple of these points last week and beat Minnesota? how different would the NFC North be right now? But it is what it is. Eduardo, tomorrow will tell us a lot of what to expect the next 4 weeks. If this team is for real, like they keep saying, they saying they will come out and dominate. You know, I think it'll be a tough match for them to dominate, but as long as they can come out there, look competent on both sides of the ball, make some adjustments, be effective, all that kind of stuff, and get the win, I think that would do a lot for not just the player's psyche, coach's psyche, but obviously everybody watching the show, fans' psyche, I guess I should just say. Darren, what do you got? I'd rather start the DB we got from Chicago and bench Jacobs. Please, mentally, he is not doing well. I would say you got a real good point with that. I know this is probably some coach speak here. We're going to split some reps. So we're trying to keep Jacobs mentally in the game because they know if they bench him, man, he's going in the tank, man. He's going to lose all faith and confidence. No, we're not benching you. We just want to get, this guy some reps too, so he's developing and we can see what he has. So you're benching somebody without saying you're benching somebody. To me, it'll be a real tell how many snaps after Saturday both guys get. If it's really 50-50, hey, maybe they haven't lost all faith in Jerry Jacobs. If it's 80-20, hey, you're not benched. We're just gonna let you rest a little bit. So let's all pay attention to that. Eduardo, what I got? I think Ragnow helps Goff more than we think. I'm sure he helps Goff detect blitzes and what the D line does. Yeah, I would agree. He's a veteran. He's seen the vast majority of schemes that are going to come his way. He's going to recognize it quickly. Plus, there's a reason why he is the starter. So I agree with you. Phil, hey, good morning, buddy. Greetings and salutations, you too. Eduardo, the hands on deck, all hands on deck, 100%. All right, Derwin, maybe they can use Tracy Walker as a blitz linebacker when Gardner Johnson comes back. Yeah, and I kind of was talking about that, I guess, with you guys yesterday, that to me, that's where he would be best suited. If you could add a little bit of weight to him, I want to say he's like 203 or something like that. Somebody can look it up, but you get him up to like the 215 range. 220 is probably asking too much, but somewhere around there, he would probably be a pretty good linebacker because he can hit. He is fast. He's got high energy. There'd be a lot of pluses for him. Who you would play him over, that I don't know. But as a linebacker, he probably would cover fairly acceptably. All right, JD, is CJ back practicing now? I believe they're going to start, or he'll be back practicing, I guess you could say, basically next week. So that'd be Wednesday's practice. But, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's out there practicing today, but I'm anticipating Wednesday. All right, Eduardo, the deep ball doesn't even have to be completed. Just an attempt on first down and second, first down or second and short, just to keep the defense honest. Yeah, keep them guessing, keep them off balance, keep them from overstacking the shorter routes on the field. Eduardo, today would be call-up days, so expect any call-ups today. Correct. All right, JD, why don't they use Gibbs more? Montgomery is not a bad player, but Gibbs needs to be utilized more. He's a game changer. That's a fair question, especially, what game was it? The Saints game, where he had a pretty good game, but they kept him to, I don't even remember the snap count, but it was definitely not as high as I think anybody anticipated. Trump did Sue sign with anyone? Not that I'm aware, but just with all the coaching going on right now, I probably haven't been on top of stuff as I could have been. So apologies for that. Christopher, do you know if Irvin is playing tomorrow? My anticipation is yes. It's home. The ankle should be fine for him. There won't be any field conditions, so I would fully anticipate he's going to be out there, and probably out there unless he gets injured the rest of the season. Let's see, Eduardo. I see people are saying BJ is maybe having a trouble trying to decide who gets the ball. I personally think targets should be based on if your opponent plays man or zone. Speed kills man. Laporta zone. Yeah, and hey, Brad Johnson, you can't make everybody happy. And really, you design the routes to fit a defense, etc. You should also be making sure that Goff has the freedom to just throw to whoever's open. Don't say, hey, I got to get this guy. I got to get this guy. Just read the D and make the right play. All right, what do you got? Big M. Good morning. Denver is going to come in and be physical. Detroit has to win the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. run the ball to establish play action. I would agree with you, Big M. I'd say that's a very good plan. All right, what do you got, Southwest? This is a young team with minimal experience being in the situation. That's true for most players and coaches. You can either cave to the pressure or embrace it. Yeah, I use a saying as a coach, hey, all of y'all are pieces of coal. You put enough pressure on a piece of coal, it's going to do one of two things scientifically. It's either going to crumble and fall apart or you're going to become a diamond. So I'm going to put pressure on every player here. I'm going to figure out who are the diamonds and who's dust. I'm going to get rid of the dust. So food for thought. Anthony, hey, thanks for that, man. Thank you very much for that. You know what? I'm going to get a Mountain Dew with that today, and probably right after the show. Thanks, man. Eduardo, Denver like to keep games to low score. If you get over 25, you probably win. Yeah. I'll just say this, man. I would agree with that all the time, except our defense sure likes to make a lot of bad offenses look good. But hopefully things are starting to turn around. Hopefully. Thanks for that, Anthony. That was very kind of you, man. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you very much. All right, Trey, what do you got? Grand Rising, same to you. Lions need to come out and make a statement on offense Saturday and put the defense in a better position throughout the game. Yeah, I agree. Take care of the ball, score some points, put some pressure on Denver to perform under pressure. All right, moving on. Eduardo, it's now or never. There's no excuses to have your best offensive, have your best offensive lineman. Demont, Gibbs, JMO, Saint, Laporta out there and spread them out. I agree. Don't get them all in the same area. Keep them out. Keep them going. Southwest line. Imagine having both JMO and Gibbs in motion and running crossing routes are deep routes. That's going to be a matchup problem for any defense. If they're doubled, one or two others have single coverage. I'd agree with that. Gary, I'd stop putting Hutch in the same position. Let him roam. I would really agree with that. Hard to find if they don't know where he's coming from. Yeah, and I think he plays better like that. I was glad to see them stand him up a little bit more last week. Wasn't maybe his best week ever, but he looked more productive than he had in recent weeks. Big M need to get our playmakers, JMO Gibbs, the ball. Let them cook and make plays. I fully agree with that, man. You got to get them more involved. Eduardo, I've only seen JMO and Gibbs lined up next to each other once. JMO went for like a 25-yarder. Yeah, and I think you need to create more matchups problems like that. All right, Southwest Gary, you are correct. Hutch was having his great success last season in standing position, offline the scrimmage, played more intuitively. I would agree. Anthony Goff needs everything perfect for him to flourish. When we have been perfect, I mean, come on, we haven't played but one game like that, and that was KC. Yeah, and man, it's hard to believe that the offensive line, all the great potential they've had on the offensive line the last few years, got one game together. Just couldn't stay healthy. What do you got? Eduardo JMO said that he is the third, fourth read, and most of the plays he's out there. Yeah, that's got to change. That is inexcusable. At least he needs to be the second. Dude gets open, and Goff forces it to someone doubled. Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, I won't say who I think should be first, second, or third. To me, that's irrelevant. But JMO on every play can't be third or fourth. That's just I would say they've got to revisit that. All right, Doug, maybe they're just like holding out all these obvious things they should be doing with JMO playoffs. They're just going to unleash him like they can't really be this dumb. You'd be surprised. I mean, I'm not calling the coaches dumb or anything, but you'd be surprised what a lot of people, when they're not coaching, they're sitting in the stands or whatever and watching and say, yeah, how are they missing this? Everybody in the world sees it except the coaches because he gets so fixated on one thing. It happens. All right, Arch, what do you got? Hey, Dan, I think your stream is using a microphone other than your Yeti for input. Sound doesn't sound like it's coming from that one. Maybe a webcam mic. I don't know. I guess you guys have to let me know. I didn't test it out beforehand, but it should be coming through it. So apologies if it's not working out great today. I'll have to look into it afterwards. Southwest, Dan, are there statistics for how well offensive lines protect quarterbacks when they are passing? For all the praise Lions O-line gets, it seems like Goff has been pressured a lot lately. I would agree with that. I think a lot of it is just they've been beat up on the offensive line. Scoresdale, he may develop into something in the future, but he's not there yet. Ragnow being out has not helped. And then you've got Taylor Decker, who's been battling back injuries this season. And I'm sure we all get it. You got back injuries. It's tough to move around and do some things you're used to doing. All right, Detroit D. Put JMO and Gibbs on the same side of the field. Too much speed, defense would be shook. Yeah, I would agree. They need to figure that out in a hurry. Wardle, they only ran that once. Detroit D. Yeah, they need to incorporate that more. Trump, yes. Rush, I agree. Trump, where is Chicago Troll? That I don't know. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to Neil. Yep. All right. I don't know who that is. All right. Good morning, Coach. MCDC has to have his best coaching game ever. Go Lions. Yeah, because in 28-24, I agree with you because I think we all get it. This is going to be a personal game for MCDC, and then obviously, what's his name with Denver. But yeah, the master wants to remain the master, not the apprentice replace the master. So I get it, man. Phil, sure, a lot of armchair coaches here. You really think they're listening? Probably not, Phil. Probably not, man. Eduardo, what do you got? I personally think Goff plays it too safe. I would agree with that. I'd much rather if he threw an INT on a deep ball than an INT on some 8-yard route. He needs to be aggressive, certain downs, push it over the field, down the field. I agree with that. Yeah, we need to start extending the fields a little bit more. All right, Pat Trav, what do you got? The Greens coach, good reading to you too. Hopefully, I'm a great one. Trump, no bear, popped. Yep, okay. I don't think I've seen him in here today. Don Kong, Trump, oh boy, here we go. Moving on. Is it legal to throw a ball while returning a kick or a punt if the opportunity presents itself? Backwards, yeah, you can lateral it backwards, but you cannot throw it forward. So yeah. Just like a hook and ladder, you can throw it backwards for sure. All right, Southwest line, 2 back sets every play, please. Give Goff the extra layer of protection, more options, and plays into play action, which he is his strength. Yes, 2 backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. I would agree with that formation. It'd be a lot of our better players out there. Okay. Aaron, what do you got? Michigan man from Melbourne, Australia. Hopefully having a good day there. Goff needs to hit Williams short and let him use his legs. Too fast. Yeah, deep routes, crossing routes, all that stuff. I think we're all ready to see the JMO show open up. Anthony, too many wasted picks on JMO. They know his ability. I believe Goff, it just doesn't have the arm to reach him and basically just needs 8 dump trucks in front of him to have time to launch one deep. Yeah, I mean, I think we all would agree that when Goff this season has targeted Jameson Williams deep, they're all underthrown. And Jameson Williams has got to stop and try to come back or slow down for the ball. So to your point, yeah, he's got to improve on that. Eduardo, it's like we are coaching not to lose the games. I would way agree with that. Lose the games and the division instead of coaching to win the games and take the division. We haven't won anything. Yeah, use the Saints game as an example. To me, this is where I was probably the most frustrated watching the game. Once they got up to the 21-point lead, it's just like they went into cruise control, try to control the clock. Now, I get that if you're up 21-0 in the fourth quarter because you can grind the clock and force the other team into submission. First quarter, there's just too much time left. That's why I was clamoring. This is your ideal time to take the deep shots, to go for the kills on the offense instead of playing so conservative because your risk to reward is so high. And you're protected by a lead. So they didn't listen to me, and obviously they're not listening to the show. MJ, we need a beginning of the season hungry Lions back. Yes, I would agree with that. Yeah, not playing scared Lions. Rafi, Coach, do you think Goff might be hurt the last 3 to 4 weeks due to his the bad hits he has taken? Is he just pushing through an injury? I think Goff's situation when it began was probably more emotional. Now, to be fair, though, he has taken a lot of hits during the last month. So could there be some level of injury there? Absolutely, man. But I think it all started off with some emotional aspects that have affected him personally and professionally. 144, what do you got? I believe Goff's limits have been Johnson's play calling because he limits arm talent. there's a good case to be made for Ben Johnson being very conservative this year with the offense. The only time he doesn't seem to be as conservative is when they get in the red zone. He tries a lot of trick plays, and I just think it's hard to run gadget plays mostly down there because the field is so compressed at that point. All right, Dr. D. Yeah, if this was the plan all along, I still do not like it. I would agree with that. Should have picked up some talent, no question. No gaslighting. I get what you're saying, man. They should have done more to address the team's deficiencies on defense earlier. That being said, I mean, if all these guys return from injury, they come back, then hey, maybe some of this is turned around a little bit, but you could have, in my opinion, and of course it's reflective of my personality, you could have went out there and tried to get a few more pieces to help jumpstart this defense. All right, Eduardo, what do you got? The first offensive play the last 4 games has been a run. Yeah. Why not go back to what we did versus Carolina? We ran a play action first play of that game. And that's one of the things I've been saying is that we do run on first down a whole lot, and it makes it very predictable. First down to me is the best down to run play action because it's a 50-50 what you can do. You haven't given anything away to the defense. You've got them as guessing as you're going to have them on any down, in my opinion. All right, Eduardo, I used to see Lions rushing for over 200 yards. I need to see, excuse me. Yeah, that would be, we do that. That's going to be a pretty good day. Phil, no, please, no politics here. Yeah, let's keep this politics free. This is about Detroit Lions and sports. Sometimes a little bit about life, but not politics. It's just, hey, that's a realm I don't go into. All right, Anthony, AG needs to wake his butt up and make some adjustments. What's going to be his excuse when he starts getting our key defensive players back and he still doesn't make the necessary changes? It's going to be a fair question, but now that he's getting some people back, to your point, you got to put up some stuff. But it's going to be a week or two until he probably has a few more pieces back. All right, Southwest Line, a sign of growth in his game adjustments is how well come out of halftime. Based on that, both coordinators need to have a long way to go. Yeah, they need to grow quite a bit. All right. Hutch will totally recover from his interception. Hutch never totally recovered. Yeah, on the CL Buzz, yeah, Uncut Buzz, I would agree with that. It's affected him. But the other part is they played him so many snaps this season, such a high percentage, seemingly every game. I think to your point, the hit he took plus just fatigue have really set in on him. All right, Fletch, how does Vegas score 63 last night and 0 the week before? I don't know, but we should probably all take some notes from those coaches' meetings. Because whatever they did, they figured some stuff out. They had a come to Jesus moment. Peyton is a beast as a coach. He's going to out-coach our guys. Yeah, but he's also got a lot more experience. So I agree with you. He's probably going to come up with some things we're not prepared for. But, hey, you're going to have to come out there and play. You're going to have to come out there and do what you can against them. All right, Gary, like the beef with Bugs and AG and Joseph going off on the sidelines. I just feel like I just get the feeling players and AG aren't agreeing on defensive scheme. There could be a wee bit of truth to that. Maybe just a little. Hatman, morning, Dan the man. Watch all the time, first time live. Hey, well, welcome to the live show, man. Glad you're enjoying, or hopefully you're enjoying it. All right, Southwest, Jack Campbell, Anzalone, Jalen Reeves, Maben, Barnes, Rodrigo, Nowinski. That's a strong linebacker group. I'd have 4 linebackers on the field all the time. Yeah, I would think you make a case for it. And obviously, sometimes they move some of those guys to the edges to rush opposite Hutchinson. Of course, that might change a little bit with Irvin and then potentially Houston coming back. All right, Dan, Vikings defense is legitimate. I would agree. That's going to be a statement game for Ben Johnson. Yeah, if we can pull out the 2 wins against the Vikings and then one either Saturday or tomorrow, I got to remember it's Friday, or against the Cowboys, that would be a heck of a stretch and finish to the regular season. TC, what do you got? Greetings and salutations, Coach Dan, and to the Line Green crew. It's almost due Thursday, and I'm hoping for a turnover-free Lions game tomorrow night, or at least a positive TO ratio. Run the ball, we win, I believe. I go with you on that. And yes, thanks for kind thoughts about greens and salutations, lime green. All right, Southwest. These last 4 games are going to tell us a lot about how well this team deals with pressure. Yeah, I agree with that. Sound is fine. Okay, so I don't know then. Hopefully it's just working out and everybody can hear me okay. All right, TC. Hopefully our offensive line holds up all game, all 5 starters for once, and our our defense can hold Russell under 20 points. I would agree with that. Yeah, if you do that, you got a real good shot at winning. Rashab, what do you got? Hey, Dan, good morning. Same to you. I missed the beginning of this stream. Any news on Houston's return? And do you know if Irvin is playing tomorrow? I'll start with Irvin. I believe he will play tomorrow, unless that ankle really isn't healed up. My anticipation, as long as he's healthy, he's on the active roster from here on out. Houston, the last I heard is, what I reported to you guys like a month ago, that he'd be back right around this game of the first Minnesota game. So my anticipation is what I heard a month ago. And then if you listen to MCDC's news presser or whatever it was earlier this week, where he said he felt CJ and Houston were basically the same time frame. CJ obviously the team announced, or Dave Burkett announced, and then everybody else picked up on it, that CJ would be returning, this week / next week for the Lions. My guess is Houston's probably not far behind. All right, Southwest. Not getting Jamo and Gibbs the ball at least 5 times per game is a failure on Goff and Ben Johnson. There's really no excuse for it. I would agree with that. Scott, good morning. MCDT rooting guide this weekend. I haven't put one together yet, but I'll try to get that for you tomorrow morning, Scott. Sorry for that, but it's a lot of coaching stuff going on today and a lot of work stuff today. So not gonna lie, did this one a little less prepared than other shows. Bengals over Minnesota. I'd go with that. Yeah, that'd be huge. Any scenarios to climb to the number 2 seed with a win? Appreciate your stuff as always. Let's go Lions. Just win, baby. Yeah, I'll try to get you some more information on that. Of course, you may have already Googled it by then, but I'll try to have it for tomorrow morning's show. Is there a chance we can move to number 2? I'm trying to do the math in my head here. I guess, record-wise, we could be tied for it. I don't know all the tie-breaking factors offhand, so apologies for that. Robert, is that true, Eddie? I guess I don't know what Eddie said, so sorry that I don't know that offhand. Brian Flores should be a head coach next year. My guess is he'll probably get some interviews for sure. The job he has done with that Vikings D is legit. And now they're holding teams to less than 19 points per game. Last year, it was over 25. Yeah, he's done a pretty good job with it. But he's been a good coach in the past. This is just another opportunity for him. And bravo to him for doing that. Unskar, yeah, Dan, the last couple of episodes, your audio has changed and now sounds like you're in a tin box instead of a stereo surround sound. I'll look into that, guys. Maybe I need to reset something. So sorry for any issues with it, but I'll try to mess with it a little bit and see if I can figure something out. Sorry about that, guys. Blind from Tinny, is there any way to use Trevor Nowitzki in the defense? He's such a great athlete. I'm surprised they haven't yet. But I don't know the reasons why, to be honest. I don't. Dennis, hey fam. Hey to you too. Hopefully you have a good morning. Blind Tom, I definitely would like to see them put Trevor on the field at least 10 to 15 snaps a game. As you pointed out, he's a great athlete, and the Lions needs more speed on the field. Yeah, they need more dudes, more athletes. I get they took some of these guys because they want to clog up the run. I get that with the defensive line, but you still got to be able to get to the quarterback, and you need guys that can get there. Yeah, no politics. Yeah, let's keep it politics free. All right, Lorena, Southwest, I agree on Nowitzki. I'd like to see how he does in coverage, especially if the Lions go to the nickel package against 4 to 5 receiver formations. He might be a hybrid DB linebacker. He might be. We just got to get him on the field to see him. All right, Southwest, Lorraine, he could be used as part of a blitz with his speed. He'd be better able to track down a quarterback, especially mobile quarterbacks. Yeah. Hatman, love how you keep it real and honest without trashing players. Yeah, there's never a need to trash anybody, man. I mean, any athlete out there, man, they're giving it their all, or they wouldn't be in this league. NFL is not like other leagues, unfortunately. There are some other leagues I could probably walk you guys through that some guys, they get that contract signed, and they're not giving their all. They're okay at that point. NFL, yeah, if you don't give it your all, you will get destroyed out there. Just there are some differences. All right, discipline. What do you got? Peace and blessings, Coach. Same to you. Gmo and Gibbs need to be quote active this game. Laporta may eat also. Seems to be a Bronco weakness. Yeah, they do struggle with tight ends out there. But to be fair, I think it's high time that you get some of the better athletes out there causing problems for the less athletic people out there. I really hope they do it this weekend and the rest of the season. Gary, my new Lions family. Well, welcome to the family, man, and hopefully you're having a good one. All right, Robert, I just have a feeling that after Saturday night, Lions are going to get a lot of media coverage again in a good way. Yeah, they go out there and get a big win, prime time Saturday night. That will help kick up the engines again. But then you'd be 10-4, limited games left. I mean, I get we all feel the doom and gloom of losing 2 of the last 3 games, but also keep it in perspective how few teams in the league really get to 9 wins. You got 4 games left. You get 2 wins out of the remaining ones. You're 11-6 out of the year. I mean, that's hard to do in this league, real hard. All right, video game bear. What do you got? Okay, I'm not sure what that means, unfortunately, man. So sorry. Phil, missing the Tesla. I am, but I think they said it would be back today. It's just whether or not I can go get it before I have to take off for coaching responsibilities later today. If not, I got to wait till Monday. So, Robert, they will have to start like New Orleans, yeah, and keep it going. Remember, it's just a feeling. Hey, sometimes feelings mean something, man. Maybe you got some intuition going on there, buddy. Southwest, being a Lions fan means going through anxiety. This is true. That's part of why I thought they may lose to the Bears last week. It's never easy with this team. Never is, man. JTC, Magic 8 Ball says, hit the like button, please. Magic 8 Ball says, thank you. Hey, thank you for that. Anybody, if you can. All right, guys, I got to cut it off a little early today because I do got to get some stuff done. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Trying to get that, whatever it is, that final 30 subscribers, 25, whatever it is, to hit 4,800 before kickoff tomorrow. If you could help out with that, that would surely be kind of you. Also, don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button. Go out, enjoy all of your days. If there's some breaking news and it's before I take off for coaching, I'll try to get out to you. Otherwise, I'll have to wait for tomorrow morning's show. Take care. Enjoy your days. We'll see you on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, all.